welcome to another Black Lightning Recharged. Today, we're going to be talking about my man, Peter Gambi.
The Great White Hope.
Well, yeah, sure. Sure, we'll give him that, maybe. All right, Peter Gambi, he is that dude. There's so much I can say about Peter Gambi. I feel like I want to present him a plaque or a certificate or something.
You know, something like a cup that says "Down for the Cause" or something.
Yeah, just something that says greatest dad replacement in Freeland or something. I don't know. Anyway, Peter Gambi, he's a man of a certain age. He's there in Freeland to protect the streets. He's Jefferson's father figure after his father passed away. We'll get into that a little bit later. He's a tailor. He's maybe even I guess you could say seamstress. He's
Let's cut the bullshit.
All right.
He's a hitman. That man is a stone cold killer in them streets.
He gets the shit done.
He's also a hacker.
And an inventor.
This man got more bodies on him than the cemetery.
All right, so there's a reason we call him Edna Mode. All right, we always throw it up as part of our joke. He's the Edna Mode of the DC universe, Black Lightning universe.
He develops the costumes, darling. No capes.
I mean, like I said, there's a lot we can say about Peter Gambi, but I think I've said everything we need to say as far as it relates to Peter Gambi being introduced on the show Black Lightning. So let's just go ahead and dive into the comics. What do we need to know about Peter Gambi in relation to the comics, and how do they kind of compare and contrast?
All right, so just like with Black Lightning before him, Gambi's comic book counterpart is very similar. Couple of things are off though. So, if you're watching this, I hope you've seen the entire season of Black Lightning. So you know that it gets revealed that Gambi kinda
Has a dark side.
he kinda has a dark side.
He was bitch made for a second.
And maybe some things went into effect where he knocked over a domino that eventually led to the domino that killed Jefferson's father.
Right.
Yeah, in the comics, he straight up murked Jefferson's father, like, at his hands. Gambi wasn't, in the comics, Gambi didn't work for a secret organization, government organization. He was just a hitman. He was hired to kill Jefferson's father, and he did that shit. Later, he came back and he was like, damn, that's fucked up. I took that boy's father away from him. So he moved into the building that Jefferson lived in and was just like, hey, I'm your new uncle, dad type person. I'm going to teach you the ropes, this, that, and the other.
So he went from military Mr. Rogers to actual Mr. Rogers.
Pretty much.
Okay.
And he's an inventor just like the comics. So a difference in the comics than in the show, Jefferson is a metahuman in the show. Originally in the comics, Jefferson was a normal human. Gambi created a suit and a belt that gave him his powers.
Okay.
So like we said, Gambi is that dude. As John just said, in the show, Gambi works for the ASA, used to work for the ASA, the secret shadow government organization that inherently created metahumans and created Jefferson Black Lightning. So throughout the season, Gambi is trying to atone for his past sins, trying to make up for what he used to do with the ASA, and eventually they bring down a portion of the ASA, the head dude in charge.
There's even some reference in the show that him and Lady Eve might have, put some milk in the mocha.
Maybe. But they have a pass.
They got that swirl.
So let's jump into some of our favorite Gambi moments from Black Lightning this season. Sure, go for it.
The club scene.
You talking about? Yeah.
Snuck up in the club.
I love that scene so much. He was death incarnate. I'm pretty sure he rode in on a pale white horse.
Pretty sure it was a black horse, which is the self-driving van, but sure, a white horse. We'll go with that too.
But why that scene in particular?
I mean, it encapsulated what I feel Gambi as a character was supposed to be in this show as far as his badassness is concerned. Like, We always see him at the tailor shop, you know, being the sage that gives Black Lightning and his daughters advice and stuff like that. And we always hear inklings of what Gambi used to do back in the day, but we never really knew how much of a badass he was until they gave us that scene. We saw inklings of it beforehand, but that scene in particular was basically he was telling everybody, he was putting everybody on notice that I ain't no bitch.
think Tom Hanks in The Road to Perdition.
I guess my thing would have to be when he went to go scoop up Jefferson.
Yeah.
And he had that mini stroke.
Yeah, and his brain bled.
Because Gambi did hop out the car with the shotty.
Yeah. like he jumped out like a dad who came to the playground and son got beat up. Who did? Who did? Oh, you.
And in general, like around that period within the show, around those few episodes, like there was just minor stuff like whenever he heard a noise, he would be like, shotgun? Who is it?
I want to see the eyes of a bitch before they die.
Before he put a hat on, before he put a coat on, before he grabbed the keys to his car, he picked up the sawed-off every time.
Yeah. So far, it seems like all of our moments, Gambi's going to be his badass gun moments. Because mine is also when the ASA rolled up in his shop towards the end of the season, and he had the newspaper. He dropped the newspaper, had a gun, reached behind him, pulled out another one.
He was like, would you like to hear about the current event?
Currently, there's a bitch in my shop.
You look like you might want to be put in the news. I'll make you tomorrow's edition if you don't get out my shop. Gambi hits on every note. Like, okay, to me, there was a lot of scenes that I like. I loved his conversations with him and Lynn because it showed the duality of, you know, Lynn wanting Jefferson to stop and become a father and worry about his family. And Jefferson and Gambi trying to explain to her, this is his calling. This is who he's meant to be. He's been fighting this fight for so long, to ask him to stop will go against his nature. So the fact that those two butted heads, I love their scenes together because the chemistry between them was always there.
Yeah.
But my favorite scene comes from another, you know, dump scene too, comes at the end when the Make America Great ASA dude is talking all that trash.
All of it.
And he's surrounded by Jefferson, Ant Farm just soul snatched him to the ground, which was hilarious. There's Thunder, and then there's Gambi. And then he's sitting there talking, what you guys gonna do? Gambi's like, yo. He murdered him in front of the family. He's like, don't worry, I got this. Don't worry. Because I was thinking the whole time, before that scene happened, I was watching, I was like, but if he leaves, he knows who they are. And as soon as I said that, boom! I was like, okay, I guess we don't gotta worry about that. He ain't gonna be in season 2.
Nope. So I think we need to mention this other thing before we, you know, get away from our favorites. Let's not forget when Tobias Rail rolled up into the shop.
Yeah, Gambi was like, I don't know who you think you are. But in my shop.
Motherfucker, you got the strength of 3 guys? Have you seen this?
Have you seen this camera? This is more than capable of killing 3 men. Oh, one more thing I do want to point out too is when Thunder came into her powers and he discovered her powers and he came out in the trunk, was like, yo, I got this right now. I got your super suit, man. I was like, damn, what?
Already?
Lynn just found out her daughter got power. You like, and then it was when Jefferson left and they was just him and her. He's like, so I got this super.
Got these nanofibers, heat resistant.
So now let's go around the room and hope to see what we expect from Gambi next season. So who want to go first?
I'm gonna just say this: please don't kill Gambi. I hope he lives. I'll just say that they were so close this season, and it was tugging at my heartstrings. It was just like, please don't kill Gambi off so soon.
And he does get killed in the comics, so that is yeah.
What do you want to see from Gambi?
I think we need to see more interactions between him and Ant Farm.
Yeah.
because I think that was the only person in the family we never got to see him interact with that much. And she has powers now, and it looks like she's going to be leaning towards using them the way that we want her to use them, which is put on a bloody costume. So I think we're going to get that interaction this season.
Okay.
So this is actually conflicting for me. Because this isn't something, okay. Let me preface this with something. If this has to happen, I would rather this happen this way. So in the comics, Gambi has a brother who is also a tailor, and he works out of Central City. If you have to cross over the Flash and Arrow with Black Lightning, I think that would be cool to have Gambi's brother show up.
Or what about having Gambi's brother be a part of one of those shows, like pop in and out?
Yeah.
Or Easter egg or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, my thing is, contrary to the popular belief, I believe Gambi has to die this season. And let me explain why. This will be the emotional leverage that will push the show over. It will, one, take away the father figure and it'll force Jefferson into the role that Gambi's in.
Okay.
Because it's like, this is the person you've been depending on, this person who's giving you your research, your stats and all this. This is your last handicap and you're a grown man now. You need to be able to provide, because Gambi, let's get up there, he's up there in years. He's not going to be able to sit there for Thunder and Lightning to help them grow up into this. It needs to pass on to Jefferson. So, and I think Lynn is more than capable to help compensate for the stuff that Jefferson doesn't know, especially to help them build stuff. Okay. So Gambi has to die. It'll push Jefferson over and make him kind of think back, do I really need to be doing this now in my condition? I'm too old and getting up there in years, and become more serious when it comes to training Lightning and Thunder. Because if you just pass the buck off to Gambi, that doesn't make any sense.
So I think it'll be organic, villain versus hero, and we got to stop Tobias once and for all.
Or you catch a heart attack on the toilet, which is...
Fuck that. He better go out with 2 gas in his hand. It's like...
I'm going to shoot you a heart attack.
And a big belly burger. That's your only flash that you get to any fucking show. He has a big belly burger. He screams thug like he ever seen the clip. That's the only crossover we need.
All right, so we're going to stop it here. That we going about Gambi like all day. Like, Gambi's that dude. They hyped him up a lot this season, but like we're saying, time may come this season to progress the story. But thank you for watching. Join us next time when we talk about. I'll just throw it out there. We'll talk about.
No, don't tell them. Make them watch.
Oh yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. All right, so like we said last time in our last episode, we will be at Dragon Con. We have a panel for sure called Back Alley Beatdowns.
Oh dear God.
If you want to see what it's about, check out our content on this channel. The show will be modeled after a show we have called Inside the Ass Whooping. Same thing, same concept. We just had to change the name for the family-friendly Dragon Con. We have content on the channel, other content on the channel. Concession stands.
Check out our latest episode of Concession Stands. Some of us went to New Orleans and we got to taste some superhero drinks. It was actually pretty interesting.
Yeah.
They needed bail money.
We got casting call.
Yeah, also check out the latest episode of Casting Call. We cast the Fantastic Four.
The right way.
But like and subscribe and join us next time. But until then,
let us know what your favorite Gambi moments are in the comments.
And tell us if we're wrong or not, and we'll tell you that you were wrong. But until next time, peace.
So I just thought about something too. If we say fuck the crossover and we introduce Gambi's brother, I would love to see like a flashback where they on some like mission like mission and they like back to back like pop just putting the work in.
If they do a flashback, it's gotta be them when they're a little younger and they're both working in the men's warehouse, and then all of a sudden 2 thugs come in there, hey, you got change for a
Y'all gotta make up like Gambi's brother just like we like Gambi.